Good afternoon. I'm Shane Jones with the CBC Newsbreak, leading the news at 12. Employers and employees who have grievances with each other have been assured the Labor Department is there to help settle them. It's coming from Acting Chief Labor Officer Vincent Felix, who says the role of the department is very much the same as when it was set up. During a labor management relations seminar, he said the Labor Department is not interested in fights or promoting discord.
We are interested in seeking how we can resolve issues in the workplace, given that it is recognized that where persons come together in the workplace, that issues will arise. We can't get away from that. Issues will arise, and the challenge for us is finding the most way that is appropriate, that can possibly end with a win-win solution.
Mr. Felix says Barbados maintains a good reputation on the world stage with respect to labor standards.
As a jurisdiction that does not cut on labor standards, that we value the guidance and seek to follow the conventions and recommendations of the International Labour Organization, and that we want to be among the countries of the world that are seen as following good and acceptable labor standards.
Barbados' efforts to make early weather and disaster predictions have been boosted. This is thanks to a low-cost technological early warning weather station developed by the US-based National Center for Atmospheric Research. The station is housed at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology. It performs several functions, including measuring rainfall, solar radiation, humidity, wind speed and direction, temperature and humidity. Project scientist Dr. Paul Kucera says the aim is to have similar stations placed across the region.
This station costs about $200 to make, whereas a commercial weather station that you would buy from the U.S. or Europe or something would cost on the order of $10,000. So for a very low cost, you now can have weather observations in a lot of places that you can't have before. We've been doing this in Africa, in underdeveloped countries in Africa, and now we're working and focusing on the Caribbean islands to expand that capacity in this region.
Over the next 6 days, special emphasis will be placed on improving productivity across the island as the social partnership celebrates its Week of Excellence. Trade unionist Orlando Gabby Scott says the week-long event was conceptualized 14 years ago as a means of helping the country as it struggled to compete with more developed nations due to increasing globalization.
It was widely felt that there was an increased need for productivity-focused businesses and that effective competitiveness strategies were an actual requirement in light of the new market liberalization thrust that had come hand in hand with the globalization phenomenon. The Week of Excellence program emerged in this context with the purpose of developing a wide-reaching initiative that will assist individual organizations and entire sectors and industries in crafting a strategic response to such challenges.
Mr. Scott was speaking at a church service to mark the beginning of the week of activities held at the St. Michael's Cathedral, which was attended by Labour Minister Dr. Esther Bayer-Suku, Minister in the Prime Minister's Office Senator Darcy Boyce, and representatives from the entities which make up the social partnership. Under the theme Improving Public Sector Productivity Awareness, Initiative and Action, there will be discussions on several topics in the coming days, including the National Workplace Wellness Policy, customer service and the youth. Dean of the St. Michael's Cathedral, Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Gibson, commended the social partners for their continued cooperation despite the challenging times.
Let me also congratulate the social partners for sustaining their relationship through the years and for celebrating the achievements year by year in this particular type of celebration, dedicating a week to affirm the dignity of human labor and to celebrate all the related achievements.
Another appeal by police for assistance in locating two men wanted for questioning in connection with two separate serious criminal matters. There are Ronald Rahim Rudder of last known address 1st Avenue, Gills Gap, Eagle Hall, and Marlon Omar George of Arden's Close, Pinelands. Rudder is 22 years old and is about 5 feet 5 inches tall, of slim build, and has a light brown complexion. George, meanwhile, is 31 years old. He is 5 feet 9 inches tall, of medium build, of light brown complexion, has brown staring eyes, and carries a low haircut. He also has several scars on his face. The two wanted men are again being advised they can present themselves to the police accompanied by an attorney at law of their choice. Any person who may know the whereabouts of Ronald Rahim Rudder and Marlon Omar George is asked to contact police emergency and telephone number 211 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIPS, that's 1-800-8477, or the nearest police station. Barbadians should know more about African history than just slavery. This is the view of Reverend Thelma Gill Barnett. She intends to mount mobile African displays in communities around the island beyond Black History Month. The first exhibition showcasing African literature, fashion, history, and Barbadian scientists and their contributions has been mounted in Oistins. Reverend Gill Barnett has told us a bit more about the initiative.
We are hoping that every Thursday or every second Thursday in the month that we were going to be doing something on our history within this community. Just as we have Q in the community, we want to have history in the community.
Assistant Janet Trotman believes more positive African history should be taught in schools.
We do this display at schools. We've done it at Princess Margaret Secondary. We did it at Harrison College last week. And the response is excellent. I find the children are very interested and they have actually embraced it, especially when they are allowed to dress in the African wear. I find they embrace it even more. It's more impactful then.
Up next, regional and international news.